Good morning, gentlemen. It's currently March 16th, 5:30 in the morning here in Los Angeles. Sorry for the shitty lighting. It's 5:30 in the morning, so there is no sun out at the moment. I would turn on the lights inside the car, but from my understanding, there's strict rules about that in California. I'm not too sure if that's true or not, but that's just what I heard. And I don't want to risk it. The things I want to talk about today on the way to work, my daily journal, is medications. Am I on medications? Yes. Do they make me feel better? Yes. Do I like taking them? No. So, even though I don't like taking these medications, I take them as prescribed. These are prescribed medications my doctor gives me. I take one antidepressant, one anti-anxiety, and one sleeping aid. And the reason I don't like taking pills, even though I actually do, is the fact that I don't like the fact that I have to take a pill to let me know how I feel or how I should feel. You know, how come I can't be happy without them? You know, and obviously depression or anxiety can be for many reasons. If it's an environmental thing, I believe you get off your pills. You just gotta take, control of your life, make lifestyle changes. If it's an internal thing, a chemical imbalance, then at that point I do recommend taking pills because that's not an easy thing to change. But I know these pills do work. Before I was taking these certain pills, I would get anxiety all the time for no reason. I'd be depressed for no reason. Even though my life is going great, as I mentioned before, I make great income. I'm a single male with no kids, so all the money that comes in is all mine. There's nothing wrong with my life. I mean, obviously not having a spouse, but that's a different story. But as soon as I started taking these pills, if you guys ever been taking antidepressant medications, it takes a long time to kick in. I think in the average number, it takes about 21 days before you start feeling changes. Some people may feel it a lot sooner, but it could be in your head, what's called psychosomatic, meaning a placebo effect. But usually it's about 21 days before they take effect, which is a long time to wait. You know, most people are impatient. Once they take a pill, they want to have that feel-good feeling or that therapeutic effect right away. But anyways, I don't like taking these pills because, like I said, I hate having the pills to tell me how I feel. You know, it kind of sucks. It's also when I bring guests over, they see my bathroom full of these pills, and they ask me a lot of questions. Granted, most of these antidepressant medications that I have at home are generic, meaning if you read the name off the label, you don't know what they are. They're pretty lengthy names. So if they do have questions, I explain to them, why I take them if they want. I know it's a little embarrassing, but my life is an open book. And every time I do explain to someone about my pills that I have at home, I always feel like I'm being judged. There's pretty sure a lot of people feel that way. They don't want to tell people they're on any kind of medications, feel-good medications, to be generic, because we think that we're going to be judged for taking these pills. And other things that I don't like taking is my anti-anxiety medication, which is Xanax, which is not that strong a drug. Me being a bigger guy, has just enough of a good effect, but not enough to draw me out. But I don't like taking that medication though, because it does, make you a little slower. I mean, I can still work on them, but I choose not to. It just makes you feel sluggish. And that's not very big with downers. So if you guys ever taken Xanax, it's I would say it's probably in the same family as benzodiazepines, which is kind of like your Valium, all that good stuff. The other antidepressant medication I'm on is an SSRI. It works all right though, but for some reason I feel like ever since I started taking that pill, I have been gaining unintentional weight gain. It could be coincidence that I've been gaining weight the same time I started taking these pills, or it could be the pill itself, but I won't know. And the sleeping medication I'm on is a pretty strong medication. I don't recommend taking them unless you have to, but it's Ambien on it. And it works great, don't get me wrong, but I think I'll have better results emotionally if I take just regular Benadryl. But yeah, that's one thing I want to cover about pills is don't be embarrassed for taking pills at all. If you need to take something to help you out, go for it. Like I said, if it's an environmental depression, environmental anxiety, meaning there's something outside the world, your job, financial reasons that you're depressed or whatnot, oh, that's just a simple lifestyle change in order to fix that. I mean, granted, it's easier said than done. You know, if you're broke and that's why you're depressed, you know, it's hard to turn that around overnight and be rich the next day. That's gonna take a little while to fix. But if it's internal, you know, it's your mind keeps working, or you just have internal anxiety for no reason, then at that point, yeah, pills might be the answer. Also with therapy, I've been through therapy before, and therapy is, I mean, it works well. To be quite honest, it does have its, you know, place and time. But the therapists that I had, yes, they get paid to listen, but my therapist doesn't do it too much. I'm like, I'm not gonna be paying $100 an hour just for someone just to listen to me and not give me any answers. I mean, maybe that's how therapy is supposed to work, but I have I could just talk to my friend. He could listen to me all day. He'll give me the honest opinion, you know, without beating around the bush, and that's free, you know. So that's that. Another thing that I want to cover is something I went through a lot. Is I know weight loss and depression, or weight gain and depression. I did cover that a little bit with Prozac, my SSRI I'm taking. I used to be about 330 pounds, a pure blubber. And this is after a divorce, my first divorce. And I was very depressed. I hate the clothing I wore. You know, I had to buy new clothing, not because I was losing weight, because I was gaining weight, you know. That was very depressing. The way I wore my clothing, specifically if I could hide my rolls, was very depressing. Watching all the guys at the beach with a six-pack during spring break, and I was not part of that group. That was very depressing. So I went through my weight loss journey. I did, you know, intermittent fasting, true fasting. True fasting meaning I would not eat for 24 hours. The next day I would pretend like that fasting day never happened, just a regular diet and back and forth every other day. And I lost about maybe 50 pounds. I was 170. I wasn't happy at that weight at all. So I was even depressed with being too skinny. So, you know, you think you'd be happy at the other end of the spectrum, but no, I wasn't happy how it looked. Just because I lost the weight without lifting weights, and I was just like flabby, skinny fat, they call it. But yeah, being overweight can cause depression. Being overweight could make you dominant, and the hormone estrogen, which could make you very emotional, hold a lot of water weight, which is not good for your mental health. But yeah, then after that became a bodybuilder. After I went 170, I bulked up to maybe 240. Majority was muscle, some fat in it though, because when you bulk up, you can't really bulk up all muscle. Some of it's gonna be fat. So, but I became a bodybuilder, got shredded, and actually that was actually the best time of my life when I was actually pretty shredded, cut up with a six-pack. And I was able to get anyone I wanted as far as females are concerned. And that was fun. And do I miss it? Yeah. Why I don't do that anymore is because the style that I worked out at, or the way I worked out, was very bad for my joints. You know, I have a lot of injuries, I have a lot of torn muscles, and I'm 35, I'm still young, but I don't recover as fast as before. You know, my range of motion in my left shoulder is not all there, just because I tore it. So that alone could be depressing when you have that phobia when you go to work out after an injury, and you know you can lift the weight, but you choose not to because you have that worry that you're gonna tear it again. But anyways, next topic that I want to talk about, I know I'm jumping around here back and forth, but it is what it is sorry I have not been posting a video for a while. I said I was going to post at least one video a day, 2 at most, you know, 1 on the way to work, 1 going home from work. I actually got discharged from the hospital yesterday, and I was at the hospital a few days here, local hospital here in LA. And why I was admitted to the hospital? Well, because I have a condition. Well, you guys ever? I don't know if you guys ever heard of rhabdomyolysis. It's not a very common condition. You see, it's a big thing for athletes who work out too much, or people who are on pretty high stimulants like cocaine or body muscles will work, and then they feel like shit afterwards. Most people can kind of bear with it at home and just deal with the pain and just drink water and flush the system out. Sometimes your blood work shows muscle enzymes so elevated that it affects your kidneys, and that's where I was going through that. My CK levels, I know I'm going to the science though, I know you guys don't care. My CK levels and my blood work showing very elevated, so what I felt was muscle soreness throughout my whole body. I just felt like I was working out all the time, even though I didn't. I couldn't move, I was in pain, and I knew something was wrong, so I went to the hospital. Keep in mind, this is a condition I get maybe once a year, twice a year, without, you know, being that athlete, nor I don't do any stimulants. So every time I go to the hospital, it's always a mystery of how do I end up with this condition if I don't work out, at the moment at least. So I went to the hospital, they took my blood work, I was in muscle pain the whole time. Of course, the blood work showed what we expected. My CK levels were elevated, my blood pressure was elevated, my legs were a little bit swollen because something about this condition, rhabdo, it's very hard on the kidneys. So I was swollen up with water. But the main, also another thing that sucks about this condition that what didn't happen before is that my troponin levels were elevated. If you guys don't know what troponin levels are, it's basically an enzyme for the heart. Basically, if it shows elevated, I mean, it might show some sort of heart, you know, my heart attack or acute coronary, thinking a different word, I'm brain farting right now. Something wrong with your heart, basically. In my case, nothing really wrong with my heart. It's just the fact that the rhabdo, it stresses all the muscles of your body, not just your skeletal muscle, it also includes your heart. And it was showing that my heart was being affected with my blood work. So I was there for a few days. They had me on a lot of morphine. The hospital I went to gives morphine like candy. And even when they asked me, what's your pain level at? And I said, oh, about 2 out of 10. 2 is pretty low. But they offered me morphine. Granted, you know, I'm not a big junkie when it comes to morphine. I accept the morphine for the fact that if I could just take it, I could just go to sleep. The faster I can make these days go by, the faster I get discharged. And I don't want to stay at the hospital too long because I have work. And I can't miss that many days of work. Reason being is that, sorry about that, I'm just trying to watch traffic. I need to pay bills, you know. One thing about my lifestyle is that I have a lot of bills to pay. But I'm able to manage all my bills if I keep working, and I don't have any PTO. on my end, just because I use it all the time, because I was asked for days off for mental health reasons. Finally got some good light. But anyway, so I got discharged. All they basically did is gave me a bunch of morphine, gave me about, maybe 10 to 20, I lost count, bags of normal saline. So I went to the bathroom hundreds of times. They just want to clean out my system. And yeah, I've been fighting with that condition for maybe at least 2 years on it, which kind of sucks though, because I don't know where it comes from. But just kind of imagine just waking up one day and your whole body is sore for no reason. With that alone, you think of what depressed me? No, not really. It's more just a disappointment though of why I get it. When I was initially diagnosed with it, it was 2 days after I got the vaccine, the COVID vaccine, specifically the Johnson & Johnson shot. I wasn't anti-vaccine, but I had to get it because I'm in the medical field. So I got the Johnson & Johnson. I should have gotten the other ones, even though I had to wait. It was 2 injections. I had to wait maybe 21 days, give or take. I had to be patient and not take the J&J, but I got the J&J. And 2 days after, that's when my first episode of the rhabdomyolysis happened. And went to the hospital, and they asked me, did anything change in my life? Like, no, other than I got the vaccine 2 days ago. So I had paperwork from the hospital saying that the rhabdomyolysis could have been caused from the Johnson & Johnson, but it's not confirmed. I guess it caused more of a correlation just because it happened around the same time, which is fine. I don't care. But yeah, that was fun times. I think I've been to the hospital maybe 6 times since I got my first episode. But yeah, that's basically all I want to cover today. I know I kind of went back and forth a lot, but the next video, I'm gonna probably just talk about how my day went. Today I work at the city of La Habra in Orange County. Not much going on today. I don't see any patients today. It's more of what they call an office day. Basically, I just sit behind a computer, pretend to work the whole day, because I don't have any accounts to go to. But they still want to give me my hours, so they just put me in a little desk all day. And basically, I'll just be shopping at Amazon all day. I hate these days because it sucks, because I want to work, but when I sit down and do nothing, he has this great, awesome, pretend to be lazy or be lazy. But my boss is walking around the whole time. Hey, he knows what we're doing. He knows that we're not doing anything. But the fact that I know he's looking at me, I always feel like he's judging me. Like, why aren't you doing something? Even though he knows we're just messing around. I don't know. For some reason, I like to work. I don't like to be known as a lazy person. So the fact he's walking around, knows that we're on Amazon, knows that we're just playing video games, I just feel weird. Kind of like he has no choice but to give us hours up, but he doesn't like it. But that's just today though. We get probably one office day a week. So today is my turn. Tomorrow is Friday. Tomorrow I do have an account though, so it's a long drive. It's about 70 miles away. And yeah, that's about it. I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. And you guys have a good day. Stay blessed.